Hello, my dears. It's Esther from Esther-Astro-Healing. Welcome to my channel. So good to have you here. And we're going to study today some awesome information and something I want to share with you. Perhaps you can find anywhere on internet. I did my deep study. On top of the information I'm going to share with you on the screen, we're going to observe sky together. I'm going to explain to you a little bit more in depth about Venus retrograde. I found a couple interesting statements from Sefer Yezirah, Book of Formation, Book of Creation, which was given to Abraham as the only book known in the Creator directly gave astrological knowledge directly to Abraham. Okay, so welcome to my channel, and it's really great information. And if you're gonna really get this knowledge and going to apply to your personal natal chart, I do believe you're going to see the changes on your personal life in many different aspects of your life, because Venus really represents in the Malchut level, in our dimension, a lot of good things. But without proper restriction, we cannot benefit from Venus. Okay, so first of all, let's look at the sky, which is start from July 22nd. Venus started her retrograde actually from July 22nd to September 3rd. So her first shadow period was start in June 19, and it's continued the shadow period until October 7. Okay, so in the midst of that, we're going to have retrograde. It's really, really important because we already start to feel her shadow retrograde, already start from really from June. Now, note the similar retrograde. I'm going to give you one very important tips, which is you need to refresh your memory and to come back to the period of time. I would say from July, I think it's from July 20th, so 25th, to September 6th in 2015. And we have a similar Venus retrograde in 2007. Same period of time from July to September. So if you will come back to your memory, and you will try to really understand, so the planet, you will maybe it's going to be really similar situation, more or less, on what you went through, but now you're different, you're stronger, you spiritually more aware. So definitely this retrograde gonna affect you differently, especially by end of this video you will understand. I'm going to share with you such a deep and awesome information what ancients telling about Venus retrograde and how to look from your natal chart, and to understand it has nothing to do with your rising. You can definitely follow the rising instructions. You can find so many different videos according to your rising where Venus retrograde. I'm here to bring to the plate a little bit different and more deep knowledge. Okay, so about really Venus retrograde, the planet of love, it's planet of love value. It's in Hebrew, it's called Noga. And what is the Noga? Noga, it's considered one of these heaviest klipot. Klipa in Hebrew, it's a shell, which is we all came to a negative layer, which is we all came to work and overcome. And you will think, how come? The planet, which is represent all the good things, represent, love and different, self-worth and values in life. Sex represent relationship, represent even law and order in a sense, because it's all about relationship, right? Especially we're talking about science like science of Libra, which is directly represent law and order. How come such an important planet for our, can be considered and given name as a Noga? Because Noga, what is the Noga? Noga is it's actually direct translation from Hebrew is the planet Venus, and the planet surrounded by fog. I mentioned in many of my videos, every time when I talk about Venus, I always want us to mention not to be misled by Venus, because Venus in the physical is a physical body. There's a reason why she's surrounded by fog, and there's a reason. It's the one of it's she represents lack of clarity, uncertainty. When you drive in a foggy weather, you can't really see where you drive. Therefore, you need more clarity. And the way how we benefit from Venus, it's to build this strong core within us with the clarity. What is really light of Creator? How for us to have direct connection with the light of Creator? and not to be dependent on the golden calf things. Of course, material things, they're important because they're part of the malchut, part of this dimension for us to use our creativity, for us to use our life, love force, to use a lot of many talents we can do from the Venus. But the end of the day, when we're not getting same results, we need to understand where the source coming from these results, and how for us properly to apply the restriction and our talents, and not to wait for the results from the place of expectation and then to feel withdraw in luck, which is Venus representing same. So I'm going to tell you exactly what it's actually a righteous explain about, and what it says in Sefer Yezirah. So it says, by feeling the pain we cause through the negative action, that part of our soul elevates to the level of Noga, we came to this world to correct through the Noga. It's really, really important, okay? So I'm gonna repeat again. By feeling the pain we cause through the negative action and our selfish behavior with the energy of Noga, that part of our soul we came to understand and elevate on the level of Noga through understanding of the certainty, which is which is a opposite of certainty, is the Safek. Safek, it's uncertainty. And if you study Kabbalah for a while, you know one of the most important holidays we have, which is represent Mashiach, final redemption, it's a Purim. And one of the most important DNA of the Purim we can imprint in our soul is the DNA to remove the Safek, to remove the Amalek, right? There's a lot of codes about the word of Malek, Amalek, and Safek. Very, very important. So before we can really understand our work, we need to understand the source, where the Venus came coming from, and why she was given to us in this dimension, while we need to enjoy the pleasure and enjoy all the good things. We need to understand without restriction, we cannot fully understand the blessings coming from the Venus. It's almost like to compare, what is really make difference. One of the reasons difference between the really righteous soul who really understand the energy, the mind over matter in this dimension, while the righteous soul have a big desire for the big desire for love, for money, for the success, equally on the same level, you have enough level of restriction to let it go of the same amount of money. So it's like a tango. Yes, I do want, let's say, I'm just as an example, I want few billions of dollars. Of course, important why you want to have this desire, how you're going to use it. But in same amount of my desire, I want to receive all those goods, I do have the same level of straight to let it go, not to have attachment. We need to learn from the Venus, everything what she represent, not to have any attachments. Therefore, we're not going to be slave of the results, because you're going to use your talents, you're going to apply all the law of creation, everything what you know with spirituality, while in whatever you receive, whatever you receive, it's yours. You don't want anything it's not belongs to you. Because if we're going to have a big desire and jealousy and to constantly want to give me, without really understand, is this is really my path, and this is really, do I really need to look at the example of other people, what they have? Because each of us came to have our amount of sustenance, our understanding of relationship, our understanding what love represent for us. Therefore, without understand our own essence, to connect to our own essence, it's almost impossible. I'm going to just go through I'm going to show you guys some cool stuff later with the 12 houses. I'm just going to tell you a little bit more on the practical level, what we need to experience with this Venus retrograde. And then I'm going to share with you really, really awesome information, which is you can work directly on your own with your own natal chart. Okay, just, Venus she's one of the except every we have a seven inner planet in our solar system. Each of the planet have their own retrograde motion and retrograde period, and how far it's retrograde, and as well how long it will take the retrogradation, except moon and sun. Moon and sun is the only astrological bodies, they don't go through retrograde period, okay? But Venus spent the last amount of time from any other planets of the retrograde motions. So she retrogrades every 18 months, and she's spending approximately about 40 days in her descents of each sun. It's very interesting number 40, because 40 in Kabbalistic term is represent the vessel of restriction. For example, remember from my previous video, if you want to overcome certain things, then you really have a hard time. Some perhaps you have some addictions, you have a problem with procrastination, you can wake up early in the morning and go sleep in right time. If you're gonna start the challenge, I would say the transformation period for 40 days, what ancient explain, when you complete the 40 days, you earn the energy of restriction of the concept you were working on it. Okay, and Venus, she has a 40 days, so you understand everything very connected. Now, Venus begin, like I said, her retrogradation from the sign of Leo on July 22nd, and then she's going stations direct on September 3rd. Okay, so from July 22nd to September 3rd, she's gonna work with the Venus, and she's gonna come back as well in the sign of Cancer. I'm gonna show you later as well. Now Venus retraces her current transit from 5-degree Leo, right, back to 19-degree of Cancer. So it's giving us runway for from redo to the September, when she's start to stop her motion. This motions open some opportunity to revisit. So what is Venus retrograde? She gives us opportunity to revisit a lot of things, to recreate things, to reconnect to other people, to reconnect to ourselves, the way what is our vision in relationship. It can help us to revive our past relationship, to understand the what is the lessons. Venus retrograde for me, and what I learned from well, just accumulate all together. She's really here to give us almost like a hints in support during her retrograde motions. Okay, very important. And this time also it invites the reflection of relationship with money, our earnings, our self-worth, the worth we place on our our skills, our creativity, how we're really using our creativity. If we really using this opportunity, it's really, really important. Once Venus assumes like a morning star status, it remain in the morning as a morning start after this retrograde until March 2024. Okay, so what's happened for this period of time, if I want us kind of to come back to your natal chart a little bit, to understand, because Venus represent we have 5 different Venuses. You can see every time when she move from one sign to another, she always skips 2 signs. Okay, so this is why she apply 5. You see the 5 stars, she represent 5, you see. So she's always go from one sign, then she skips 2 and she jump to another sign. And in your natal chart, if you know your chart, if you did chart with me or you did chart with any other astrologer, especially on sidereal system, I hope you did, not Western astrology, you probably found in your Venus you have a night Venus or you have a day Venus, right? You have a Venus which has been invisible, blind Venus. So let's start with the morning Venus. If you have a chart in your Venus, actually, you see, I create here for you line here in the middle. So if you have a day chart, you're born in the morning, during the day, before sunset, so your chart considered day chart. It can be a morning, afternoon chart, but mainly it's called day chart. And if your Venus placement in the upper level, it's definitely day Venus. Now, day Venus, she's very powerful Venus. She's the Venus which is have commitment to herself mainly. What it's mean? Women's, I'm going to talk about women, for example. If women have a day Venus, she's more independent. She can actually, she usually never marry for money. She really wants a relationship. She wants to be secure in relationship, but to be independent at the same time. When you have a night Venus, usually night Venus women marry early. Family, it's I would say family, it's for them much more important than career, in the sense of they more want security with from the family perspective. They can marry with a partner who they can fall in love later, or just to be more practical and to be, more independent financially, so they can marry somebody for money in night Venus. Now, when you have, for example, Venus, which is she with conjunct with the sun, or she would the I would say 3 to 4 degrees before or after sun. This is called invisible Venus. Invisible Venus, she's a little bit complicated. Many times people with the new invisible Venus, and if they don't know on the spiritual process, they can stay single almost all their life, or they can have relationship which is not for long-term relationship and never really experience the full benefit of the relationship. Usually when I have a clients with such a Venus, I'm giving a lot of homework and a lot of practical tools how to work with that, and from where to take energy in your own chart in order to activate the energy and light with the Venus. Very important. Now, another thing I want us to look at, that this Venus retrograde will go through different visitors. She's going to be really close to Mars. Then she's going to be together with Mercury. I'm going to make completely separate videos. You know how I make video now, weekly video. So on my each weekly video, I'm going to explain to you guys in more depth what Venus is going to go through. But right now, in this particular moment, I want us to learn today something that perhaps you never knew before. So I'm going to share with you right now on the screen. I create like a special wheel, another wheel for you, just to have more clarity. Let me see. Okay. I just want us to have a clear sky. So for you to see the 12 signs, you can see we have a wheel. If you new to astrology, so you know it's a basic astrology. We have a 12 sign zodiacs and we have 12 houses. And it depends on your rising sign. This is you can check on your natal chart where you have Venus. I'm going to start from basics. I'm going to teach you something really interesting, like I said, which is can help you. Now, Venus, let's say I'm going to start, what do we have here? We have here, um, we have here Scorpio. No, what do we have here? Yeah. So we're going to start with Scorpio. Let's start with Scorpio here. So let's say your Venus in Scorpio, right? In your natal chart. Again, it really depends if she's visible, invisible, if she's has other visitors, if she retrograde. Let's say she just, normal Venus, let's say a day chart Venus, and she's in Scorpio. Now, what really interesting, what ancient explain, Venus, she needs to learn from her opposite sign. And what is the opposite sign when you Venus in Scorpio? It's a Taurus. So, many times when we have, Venus in Scorpio, it's not the most comfortable place for Venus to be. Why? Because in Scorpio, she feel more intense, right? It's all about transformation. In order for Venus, if you Venus in Scorpio or you Venus in the 8th house as well, so you will understand what I'm talking about, because Venus in Scorpio, she's make person more jealous. And how to work with jealousy? What really ancient explain why we're jealous? The only reason we're jealous because we don't believe it's not belongs to us. I'm going to repeat again. The only reason we have any level of jealousy, it's when we believe whatever we have in front of us or whatever partnership we have, it's not belongs to us on the soul level. Because if you know it's yours and it belongs to you, there's no reason for you to be jealous. Otherwise, there's no reason for you to be with partner if you don't trust your partner. Okay. So what we need to understand here, we have a position on for Taurus. We're going to talk right away at the same time for the two signs. So Taurus and Scorpio. If you have a Venus in Scorpio, you need to, for the retrograde period, you need to learn of the quality of Taurus. For you, Taurus, if in your natal chart, your Venus in Taurus, which is beautiful position, you need to learn the good quality of Scorpio. It's really, really important. And what I mean by that, about the good quality of Scorpio. Uh, so, for example, for Taurus, for you guys, Taurus, it's your Venus is your Lord. So you need to see it Scorpio and to see what you can learn from Scorpio, because Scorpio, it's the good quality of Venus of Scorpio, it's commitment. Scorpions, they commit and they really want to understand the depth of relationship. So therefore, when during the Venus retrograde, for you, for example, Taurus, you will be bringing lessons from the place of Scorpio, and you need to understand the energy of Scorpio during the during the Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, because Mercury retrograde, so often it's already automatically coming from the word retrograde, Mercury. So Venus, if you have Venus in Scorpio, you Scorpions during the during the Venus retrograde, you need to learn from Taurus quality, how to be practical, how to manage your money, because both of you sign, by the way, have a special relationship with money. One, Taurus earned money for yourself. The Scorpio, it's actually money of other people. So in this reflection, I recommend for you to learn and understand each the sign. Okay, let's move forward. Now we have Libra. Many times when we have, Venus in Libra, it's a beautiful place for Venus, right? Because it represents seven house. It represents love, relationship, people love. Venus in Libra, usually you're popular. People love to be around you. But, Venus in Libra, she's constantly seeking for approval. Very, very important, right? And what about Aries? Aries don't really care about approval. Aries has his own, Aries needs to learn how to definitely restrict how they communicate, especially with loved ones. But for when Venus retrograde, for you who have a Libra Venus, you need to learn how to be more daring, how to put your fear on the side, because don't forget, Venus, it's your Lord, and it's Noga, and she can create some uncertainty, and this is why many times you're decisive on relationship. You don't know how to make your decision, and perhaps sometimes to leave relationship when you feel you don't have balance, or to establish new level of energy. Therefore, you need to look at the areas and see how you can learn from areas, right? What is the areas? Areas, I always say when you have a Venus in areas, it's like, you look at the mirror and you say, who's beautiful? Who's they have the most prettiest smile of all, right? It's the mirror. This is the areas. And it's a good thing for you, Libra, to be more outspoken, more daring. And for Aries to learn from Libra, how to be more tactful. So this retrograde period, it's all about for our learning how we can so to say learn how what is really Venus represent in our chart. And what I love, what ancient explained, the reason when you look at the opposite side, because the opposition of the Venus, it's actually the secret of your Venus. You see, this it's so simple, but many times we're not using the simple basic stuff. We're going to more complicated things. So just for you guys to definitely Libra and Aries, and don't forget your lunar nodes right now in your sign. So you're going through completely new transformation, like a reborn again. And it's going to happen until almost end of October. So you have this Venus retrograde can help you even more with this situation. Okay. Now let's go to Virgo. Now Virgo and Virgo in Pisces. We're going to do two of them right away. Now, if you have Libra, if you have Venus in Virgo, You know, Venus in Virgo, it's she's debilitated. It's a little bit conflicted energy because Venus becoming a little bit too calculated, and you know, she's let's cut to the chase, let's be practical, let's see how clean you are, let's see how you dress up. You know, you very critic criticize. So you need to look at the Pisces and see how you can be more easy in relationship. Just be more loving, more romantic, more smashy. You know, just to come and give the hugs and to give kisses and just, you know, just to bring more romance. And what about Pisces, right? You know, when you have Venus in Pisces, you know, she's Mother Teresa in a way, right? But you know, Venus in Pisces, she loves privacy, you know, secrecy. She's a dreamy, romantic, and she loves to see things behind the scene. And how she can learn from Virgo to be more practical, you know, to be more practical, to really taking care of yourself, your beauty, and okay to accept the presence like Virgos do, right? Because sometimes Pisces, you know, they have a desire, but sometimes they don't know how to receive. So it's really, really important to actually to talk to your partner and tell what's missing. Okay, good luck, guys. Let's look at the Leo Venus, Leo and Aquarius. This is, I love this combination because, you know, a Venus right now for you guys, it's going to be such an important period of time, super important because Leo, Venus gonna retrograde. She's gonna open up so many uh, things for you to come back to evaluate. Again, like I said in the beginning of my video, try to remember what's happened in 2015. Try to remember what's happened in 2007. What lessons you learn. What lessons you still feel you didn't really learn from the situation you experienced there, and how you can bring them. But this particular Venus retrograde, she's better than previous years because she's touching really good position for the relationship. I do believe after this Venus retrograde, many of us and many of we're gonna improve our relationship. I strongly believe that. Right now, you know, when Venus in birth chart in Leo, she loves to have fun. She loved to have fun, to create different games, party. You know, she create creative children. Venus, right? Man or woman, with Venus, it's the best, one of the best position for parent. You know, she's very artistic. You know, she has like a eye for the art, music, gambling as well. So speculation. So for you, Leos, it's really good for you to learn from Aquarius how to be not just giver, share, how to, you know, how to understand your partner, not just to, you know, I'm to be outspoken and how beautiful I am, or how beautiful, and you know, everyone needs to listen to my opinion, you know, I'm the leader here. Learn from Aquarius how to make leaders, what is really leadership, how to be leader behind the scene while you're doing your work, but you let other people to shine, especially in your partnership. Very, very important. Now, for you, Aquarius, you know, you can definitely learn a lot of things from from Leos. And when by the way, when Mercury again, when Venus retrograde, we actually feel usually the opposite sign. This is what ancients explain to us. When this is why I want us to understand why we feel the way we feel when Venus retrogrades. So now you understand. So again, for you, Aquarius, is, you know, you are very eccentric, you know, dual. You know, don't forget you have Saturn and Rahu, it's your other planets, you know, and you have Uranus, which is sometimes make you to make too quick decisions with relationship, to leave relationship and to get to the relationship. So Venus retrograde can help you to understand the stability of relationship as well. And you know, it's um it's the even love for your older siblings, very important, you know, to your community, and the leadership. When Aquarius, for me, Aquarius and Leo, it's one of the amazing example how you use those polarities to become real leader. This is really important. And Venus, with the loving eye, with the loving heart, can help you to be this way. Okay, good luck, guys. Let's look to Cancerian. When Cancer in Leo, you know, when Cancer, when Venus in Cancer. I love Venus in Cancer because it's make you um really unconditional lover. You really know in your essence, you're born with that, how love unconditional. And what about Capricorn? They really came to learn what is love, how to open the heart, because they're so stuck in the agenda of their own motivation, how to achieve certain heights in career in the society. They missing the whole idea about the partnership on a very simple level, and as well your family. So both those signs, the Cancer, Venus and Cancer, can learn from Venus and Capricorn how to be more practical, how to not to create too many sensitive movies, because Cancer, Venus in Cancer, she sometimes create too many emotional, movies in her head, which is not even exist. And then the problem starts. So just learn from Capricorn how to be more practical, how to not to let your emotions all over the place. And for Capricorn, how to be more warmth, how to be like a Cancerian, truly care for a society, truly care for your partnership, to pay attention, to be more present, not just for career achievement, to be more present on personal relationship. Very important because Venus in Cancer, she love her home. She love when people support each other, right? And Venus in Capricorn, again, I'm going to repeat myself. It's all about you know how I can attract leadership, how the leadership can be attract to me. Your career must have, like a beauty, be some kind of beauty. Usually, by the way, when Venus in Capricorn, your office probably look beautiful, and you attract to even to beautified product like music, like perfume, cosmetics. You can be really on top of the game if you know how to use the Venus. But in this case, definitely you look at the opposition. Let's move forward. Now we have a Gemini and we have Sagittarius. This is another combination I really, really love. For Geminis, one of the good qualities about Gemini, when you have Venus in Gemini, they don't stuck. They know how to move forward, but sometimes they move forward too quick without really letting the partner really to shine and to show many other layers because of the lack of patience and too mental, overthinking everything. So definitely for Gemini, it's good to learn from Sagittarius how to apply spirituality, how to apply high teaching, how to study with your partner. One of the, by the way, most important and the best recommendation died by ancients, by tzaddikim, when husband and wife and partners going through tough time, it's really good, very important to study spirituality. Like choose the spiritual book and each of you read and then study evenings together, share how do you see spirituality. Through that study, you will know about each other much more than when you in constant, routine level. Okay, did you buy food? Did you cook that? Did you clean? Did you brought children? It's the whole routine, this eating people alive. Therefore, for the partnership, extremely important to study together, to elevate our consciousness together, to really understand. I can tell you miracle stories from my clients when I give them the homework, because I do work with partners. And if you have a partner which is you would like to look at the chart and work together, I can help you tremendously to direct you. You gonna do the work, but I can help you, explain to you exactly through your chart, through your natal chart, how you understand love and how your partner understand love. Because for example, for Pisces, love, it's you brought me flowers, you kiss me on the cheek, oh, I'm on top of the world. For Taurus, love, okay, did you take the garbage out? Did you pick up for did you cook the food? For Virgo, did you pick up kids on time? So for each of us, love represent, it's a good thing, it's okay. But what about our spirituality? When we study together, we suddenly open up on completely new level. Very, very important. Now, for Sagittarius, you guys can learn from Gemini to have more tact, because Gemini, they still, but from the analytic, they practically try not to be rude and not to say some things without thinking, because of the mental ability. So Sagittarius, you're very you're one of the highest elevated souls, but you came to learn how to restrict, to really think before you speak, almost similar like areas. But here you need to learn from definitely from your opposite sign, from Gemini. Okay, because the Gemini, it's a working on Gemini knows how to be multitask, and this is why another thing for Sagittarius good to learn from, and the Gemini, from you too, from learn from Sagittarius, how to be more confident and how to be more positive, because Sagittarius has a lot of positivity inside of them, and sometimes, Gemini, because of the mental activity, sometimes can create movies in a way a little bit similar to Cancerians, by the way, right? Because Cancer represent moon, emotions, subconsciousness, and this is where before Cancer was created, Gemini was created, right? And remember, Gemini create with the letter Zion, which is part of the letter Het, which is create Cancer. If you study Kabbalistic astrology, you know what I'm talking about. I'm referring to the Hebrew alphabet, which is each sign in each zodiac system, everything created through the Hebrew alphabet. Okay, good luck, guys. Okay, let's go to, I think we finish with the Taurus and Scorpio. Okay, yeah, I think we do. So, guys, uh, what I want, kind of, I can give you homework to do. During this retrograde period, there's going to be ups and downs. I'm going to tell you right now because, we have a Mars going to challenge Venus. We're going to have Mercury going to start make Venus more mental. While Venus retrograde, she more open for change. She want us to come back to our homework, to understand our own essence. And what I did right now, I provide you extra tools. It's not just your obvious, your sign you're born with, which is the where Venus is the opposition, where Venus always looking for support. It's like a backbone. You understand? So this is your homework from Venus retrograde. Besides, you need to work on your own sign where Venus is. Look at the sign of opposition, and you will understand. You will be shocked how much you like more as the opposition sign than actually the Venus. You will be surprised, and try to get the best from it. Try to see what quality of opposition sign you really need and can help you to improve in your relationship, in your everyday life, because the whole universe, it's about relationship, it's about sex. What is really sex? It's not just physical. Sex is how we exchange the energy, how we interact with everything, even the objects in our home. They have the energy they need. When they have a love, they're going to serve us longer. It's really known fact, because everything made by atoms and therefore has a soul inside, because it's been touched by energetical force of life energy. Okay, so I think that's all for today. I'm going to join the every week. I'm going to mention Venus again and again. I want to wish you guys good luck. And if you have any questions, please send me your email. Another thing I just want to mention, I opened new membership on my website, on my channel. It's only $12.99. So I hope you can to support my channel. It can help me. I'm really looking to buy a really good quality telescope, because I really want to start to observe a sky really directly more, not just from the astronomy website. And as well, what I'm going to do, people who's going to become the members, you will be able to send me once a month your own personal question. And if you as well, if you want, I can always send you, after you will send me your personal question, I'm going to send you your angels, which is part of your rising sign. If you know, you correct your rising sign. Okay, it's a special combination of angels from the 72 names of God. And I'm going to create more and more additional tools for my members. And I think that's it. Oh, another thing I want just quickly to mention, I'm going to leave a link under this video, link from one of the best, the Sky Observe website, where you can go over and see this beautiful Venus, because she's going to disappear. She's going to be invisible and until September, and it's really beautiful when she's going to appear as as a morning start after as well. It's going to be so gorgeous, and you can see all her stages for this period of time. It's really, really beautiful. The sky is going to be very, very bright when she's going to appear in the morning and then in evening side. Okay. Thank you guys. All the best. Bye bye.